Primetime?
Primetime.
Primetime, that's the name.
Primetime.
Primetime.
What time is it? Showtime Primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
And then he couldn't fire his glutes later.
Matt Hayes.
I'm not running over the Barnett Tower and heaving myself off it.
And Leon Searcy.
Now, you come across that middle, you had some meat on your bone.
That's Friday. It's XLP. You're almost there, man. You are almost to the weekend. 3 hours to go. 5 o'clock. The bell hits. The weekend begins. Oh, yeah. I'm Matt Hayes. He's Leon Searcy. JJ's holding it down. We've got a special guest, our quarterback, Cleo Lemons, and we're going to talk a lot of football, NFL, college football. We're going to break down the mini camp that begins next week. Jaguars mini camp, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday is the open day for fans to go and see your team. See number 12. Don't forget, by the way, about number 7. Just don't forget about number 7 because he's the best guy on the team. And speaking of the Jags, 2 nights ago, the head coach of the Jaguars was standing on the mound at Bragan Park, 123 Financial Field, throwing out the first pitch. And JJ made this statement before. And JJ, let's just let you take it here, what you were going to do. If, then.
Well, if Liam threw a strike and it looked respectable, I would throw money on the over for 7.5 wins for the Jags. And I'm going to do it. I should have done it that night. No, I should have done it that night.
I like that bet.
Well, I don't know if we talked about it yesterday. I don't think we did. It was a perfect throw. And he got up there right on the mound, right on the rubber where you're supposed to.
He did.
Made it look effortless.
He did.
Didn't put like any effort into it. Like it was so natural for him.
Well, let's be
I
honest.
was very impressed.
It was absolutely a toss.
A toss for a strike.
It was not. He did not groove it in there.
What did you expect him to do? Throw a Nolan Ryan fast?
I expected him to look.
Says the man who couldn't probably get to the plate.
Exactly.
You want to put some money on that?
Yeah, I'll do, really.
All right.
I
want to lose some money on that, man.
Well, okay.
He also was in shorts. He was just vibing. It looked like he's just.
You would think if you're gonna throw out the first pitch, right? You get your son go play a little catch, right? For a week or so, 2 weeks.
He looked like he hadn't even been training. Like he just got right off the couch.
He totally didn't. Right. He literally looked like he walked right out of a quarterback meeting onto the mound and just tossed it. I was kind of hoping because he was a pitcher in high school. I guarantee he was.
I was impressed.
I was hoping he'd groove it.
I was impressed. Listen, I say that pitch set the tempo for the season. Because if it had a bounced or hit the plate and then reach the glove of the catcher, that's a bad omen.
Not even a bad omen.
It was a bad omen.
Tragic.
So I'm glad he finished it.
So I've thrown out a first pitch before.
Yeah.
Okay.
At a Toronto Blue Jays game.
Okay. How old were you when you did it?
I was playing.
You were playing for the Argonauts?
Yeah, I was playing in the Argonauts. I was playing in the CFL. It's a lot of pressure.
Elite athlete.
It's a lot of pressure.
But you're an elite athlete. Had you ever pitched before?
Yeah, high school.
Okay.
I'm a quarter arm thrower.
Okay.
Right? So I'm quarter arm. I get up to the mound, and it's a long way, first and foremost. it's not a
60 feet.
He knows how you're setting up this story. Did you get to the glove is the question.
I'm a quarter arm thrower.
Cleo,
right?
did you get to the glove?
So I get to the mound.
Had you thrown it all prior?
Didn't throw it all.
Even when you got to the
mistake.
park, they didn't let you throw them?
I got there, and they kind of put me into place. They say, "Okay, you up next."
I'm like, young Cleo saying, "You'll get this, man. Don't worry about it."
I'm like, but my boys sitting next to me, and he is talking all kind of trash. He's like, "Man, don't screw this up." So I get up there, and I smoke one for a strike.
Nice.
But it was more of a change up type flow. It wasn't a heater.
All right.
It was a change.
You didn't really groove it. You just got it in there.
But it make you when you looked at it, it might look like a fastball, but it was a nice little change up.
So we heard the video.
That's impressive.
Did it sound like the mid?
I heard a little thud. I heard absolutely a little thud.
Did you hear it pop, JJ?
Yeah, it was a
I
little
didn't,
pop.
but I didn't expect him to. Like I said, what are we doing here? You're not supposed to be going up there and listen. I was at the game. They announced. First of all, they had 20 people announced doing the first pitch, and then the last one was Liam Cohen. I'm like, can we not announce him by himself? Jeez, there's like representative from ViStar, and it's like, who cares about them?
There's like three other guys, and by the way, here's Liam going.
This is Liam's time.
Yeah. Well, this may be a little bit off the subject, but I remember when I was the Steelers, and I'm from Orlando. I had to in the crowd. See, when you're not in your arena, you're nervous. So I was shooting from the free throw line for charity, right?
Okay.
Was this at the arena?
Yeah, it was at the arena Orlando, and I was with the Steelers. Might have been my second year. Well, I was shooting it for charity.
Why would you agree to that?
Because it's for charity, bro. That's what
You knew you were going to embarrass yourself. Why would you do that?
How many shots?
Well, it was 5 shots. I believe it was 5 shots, and for every shot I made went like I think $1,000 or $500 towards the charity. So I had 5 shots. First shot I airballed it. Quick. So we're gonna get that out the way. The first one I airballed. Right?
Short?
So this
Or to the side?
No, it just hit the net without hitting the rim. So it's terrible. But you gotta think, you got a full capacity of people.
Yes.
And this is not my arena.
Yes.
Yes, it was sweating. There's lights on you in the court. So I'm not in my arena now, so I'm in another arena, basketball. But I got 3 out of 5.
Oh,
3.
nice.
I got 3 out of 5.
Respectable.
Wow, after airballing the first one, you could have lost your confidence easily.
I know, but my swag was in jeopardy.
Yeah.
In Orlando, you know what I'm saying?
What's your shot? You got like a Jamal Wilkes shot, or you got like a regular
I'm
shot?
Look at the elbow, tight elbow.
Oh,
Yeah,
That should look nice.
Yeah. But I just want to say I airballed the first one. and the fans laughed, of course.
Right.
They forgot it was for charity, okay? I'm doing this for charity.
Were the 3 that you hit like just
I hit
net?
the second one, and then I missed the third one, that didn't hit the last 2.
You know who wasn't
Were any of them like rim, backboard, and or were they all net?
A little bit, no net.
No net. It's all over the rim and net,
all over the rim.
Those poor kids that didn't get fed because you missed
It
are
wasn't,
not
bro, it's
laughing.
on
I don't think it was
That's
for
on your conscience right there.
See what I'm saying? See, that's why I shouldn't have told y'all the story. I tell you.
I mean, you could have been like Ty Halliburton and just like nailed it every critical moment.
Well, he's Mr. Clutch, bro.
He is.
He's clutch time.
That's what we were
He's
talking.
box office.
So
bro.
we were talking about this prior to coming on the air. When was the last time you seen a guy hit just clutch shots like that throughout a playoff run?
Man.
And JJ's point was he hasn't really been the best guy on the team, but he just in the moment, it's ridiculous.
Well, he certainly wasn't last night.
No, he wasn't.
He disappeared for a long time.
They did have 5 guys in double figures in the game. He only scored 14 points, but like JJ said, he wasn't even the top scorer. But man, it's just something about that team. When they get down, they just believe. And I don't even think I could say OKC took their foot off the gas. They didn't, because they were still attacking, offensively.
Yeah.
Now they had to respond, because SGA still was attacking, still attacking the rim. So they had to respond on their back end by shooting threes. And some of the threes they were making is just ridiculous, bro.
It kind of feels like a Toronto Raptors, season when they got hot.
Right.
Yeah.
This kind of feels like that season for Indiana.
Kawhi.
But they had a superstar. Like Indiana doesn't.
But Siakam was on that team with
he
Toronto,
was. Yeah,
and he played well.
He played really well
for that
series,
run,
yeah.
He's such a better player now, too.
He is.
Than he was. But it's crazy on that last play where they get the rebound and they're immediately looking for Halliburton. Like, even though he only had 12 points at the time, the guy's like, where's he at? And Halliburton was right there. Give me the ball. I'm going to take this. And he's just insanely clutch this playoffs. I've never seen any. First of all, for a guy to have that many opportunities at the end of games and comebacks is crazy. I would say probably like Dame Lillard in the playoffs had such a crazy reputation for hitting those clutch shots at the end.
But never got him to the finals.
No.
Right?
No, but also he played in the West.
You know what I was thinking?
Totally
Maybe
different ballgame out there.
Maybe Shabazz Napier at UConn 14, when he literally just carried them the entire season.
You're thinking of Kemba Walker.
Is it Kemba Walker?
Him and Kemba.
What year was that? What year was Kemba? 11?
That was the run. Started in the Big East
I think it
tournament.
might have been 11, right? Anyway, it was,
2011. And like 11. You said, it was started in the Big East tournament, and just
God,
they weren't even a high seed whatsoever.
Right. He was ridiculous. That's what I was thinking. Like, if you start talking about the last guy to really do, maybe
that's a good call on
maybe
Kemba.
Kobe against the Magic. What was that? 2007 or something? What was that? 2000. When was that, JJ? 2006?
2009?
Yeah, that sounds about
Oh my
right.
God, he was unbelievable in that series. But that's, what he's done, what Halliburton has done, Leon.
Yeah, 2009.
You start talking about, like, when you're at that high level of an elite athlete, you and Cleo both know this, when you step up in those moments and What's it like when you make those key plays?
Well, first of all, I mean, he wants the ball, and what about the head coach? After SGA missed that shot,
right?
No timeout. Nope. They just ran the play.
Got him the ball.
Got him the ball and scored, man. You would think in that moment right there they would have called a timeout, but no, he had trust enough in his team, his players, to where they can go off and make it happen.
And you don't want OKC with that defense to get a chance to, after a timeout, get together, get their assignments and everything, because that defense is ferocious, man.
Cleo, what's the biggest moment, collegiate or professionally, you think for you as a football player, and what was the feeling of like pulling it off?
So I'm gonna take y'all back to farther than that, right? So this is like one of my first moments. My dad coached me in 9th grade basketball.
Nice,
right?
Love this. Right?
We're going down. We only got a couple seconds left. We got to go to full court. We're down by 2. I'm taking the ball out. I give it to my boy. All right, he's dribbling up the left side. He's on his left hand. He's dribbling up. My guy kind of goes to him. I cross half court, give him the woo-woo. Woo-woo. He swings it back to me with about 3 seconds left. I let it ride from probably 2 steps past half court. I drain it. And that was my only game-winning shot of my basketball career. And that is a great feeling. Like that feeling, when I had that in 9th grade, I don't know too many that can top that one. That was fun with all my buddies back in high school. So
let's get this straight. So he was a star in college football, played in the NFL, played in the CFL, and all you're talking about is your 9th grade shot.
Because that was the first, that began it. That was the beginning. When I made that shot, it gave me so much confidence.
Right.
I was like, man, I can do it.
And football doesn't really allow those type of last second
sometimes.
Well, man, first of all, I'm a little offended that you didn't ask me when my clutch moment
I was getting ready to, bro.
just because I'm a lineman, you don't think I had a clutch moment?
No, I know you did. I'll tell you what, you almost had a clutch moment in the Super Bowl when you almost tracked down Larry Brown.
No, there was no clutch moment. I can tell you when my clutch moment was. It was November 25th, all right, 1989. It was Miami versus Notre Dame, all right?
Right.
Bernard Tiger Clark intercepts the ball. We get the ball inside the 10-yard line. They stop us again. So we're at 3rd down and 5 at the 5. And JJ, you can pull it up. They call a play specifically tackle trap for me.
Right.
So it's 3rd and 5 outside. I block out Chris Zorich, knock Chris Zorich down, and Steve McGuire runs up the hole and scores a touchdown. That was my clutch moment. That was the first time that play was specifically designed for me in my aggressive.
Was everybody jumping on you?
No. I was jumping on Steve McGuire because they made that call in that game at that specific moment.
Nobody was jumping on you saying good block.
Nah, linemen don't get no love. You know that? No love at all. Everybody jumping on Steve like he just walked in there. I'm like, hell, y'all ain't see the block? That was my clutch. But that was my first year starting at University of 89. So that was my clutch moment when I said, you know what?
Yeah, it's unreal. Like, you don't get any credit, and yet there's like idiots like us on the radio yelling at the offensive linemen because they suck and they can't protect Trevor Lawrence.
Facts.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's unfortunate. All right, we need to go to break. We're going to come back. We're going to get into Aaron Rodgers broke. Aaron Rodgers' deal was broke just as we were signing off yesterday. I want to ask Cleo and Leon about that. We'll get into that. We'll get into some what to expect from the minicamp, which begins next week. We got a lot to get into. It's XOP.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
Said I'm not good looking enough for her. Not good looking. Look at my face, huh?
Not just voices on the radio.
Am I beautiful? You're very attractive. Yeah.
Mornings on 1010XL.
That is a handsome man.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
From humble origins on Beach Boulevard to the grandeur of the old homestead, Takaloo has bucked the odds, selling cheap tacos and even cheaper beers since 2008. I'll be the first to lament that nothing is cheap anymore, but much has not changed in 17 years. Bangin' Shrimp still rocks, margaritas flow day and night, and we love to see old friends and make new friends every day. You can still spin the wheel or sit outside on the patio in the sun with friends and family. It's been a ton of fun, and we have you, Jacksonville, to thank for 17 years. Takaloo in Jacksonville Beach.
They were right. It could have waited. I can't believe it happened check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione. Campione Law.
Poker fans, ready to ride the waves and win big? Join us at Best Bet St. Augustine for the Summer Splash giveaway. Over $40,000 in prizes are up for grabs, including a 2025 Yamaha Wave Runner. Join us now through August 8th to earn entries into the big giveaways. Every hour of poker play and table game play earns you an entry. The more you play, the more chances to win. Come play and win big at Best Bet St. Augustine. Visit bestbetjacks.com for details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Are you tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now. Don't miss Renewal by Anderson's 30th anniversary sale. Buy one window or patio door and get one 30% off. Financing options are available and this offer expires June 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Hey, Hicken here, and every Friday I'll help you put together your sports weekend so you know where you want to go and what you want to do. Watch for Musings with the Media Mogul on YouTube and Facebook, locked down by Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach.
Pacifico, discovered by accident.
Yeah, the story goes, a group of friends went down to Mexico looking for some legendary waves. They never found them. But what they did find was something even better. An unforgettable Mexican lager.
Where'd you hear that?
Tell your next great story with a friend and a delicious Pacifico Mexican lager.
Pacifico, find your own way.
Joint replacement surgery is always a tough decision, but relief from chronic pain may be just around the corner. Dr. George Barra here, and there's a lot to consider to make sure you get the proper diagnosis and best path back to the range of motion and mobility you had. Age, lifestyle, and overall health all play a part. Let the team at Barrier Orthopedics give you a full analysis to help you make the best decision. Log on to barrierorthopedics.com or call the office to make an appointment. With offices across Jacksonville and ready to help you feel good again, we'll get you back on the road to recovery at Barrier Orthopedics.
Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to i9sports.com with summer and fall registration open right now, including girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 for a discount.
Plumbing problems? AC not blowing? Septic tank doing whatever septic tanks do? Don't call 3 different companies and play contractor roulette. Just call Duck Duck Rooter. We handle plumbing, septic, and air conditioning all under one roof. That's one call, one company, and one bill that won't give you a heart attack. For fast, reliable, and slightly ducky service, call 904-862-6769 or waddle over to duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the duck.
Need cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash, and they're ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. And gold market prices are at a record high. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
Summer in Jacksonville is coming in hot. Lauren Brooks here. Beat the heat with Turbo Tint. Their window tint blocks up to 99% of harmful UV rays and keeps your ride cool and comfortable. Book today at orangepark.turbotint.com.
Team 10XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
They run it with McGuire. Touchdown.
Jim, I tell you, that takes some courage on 3rd and 5 to call that. But watch the left tackle here pull and seal the way in here for Stephen McGuire. See the big line splits, creating natural holes? It was Searcy, number 73, who really cleared the way for McGuire. But give Bob Bratkowski, the offensive coordinator of Miami, some credit. That takes some guts when you're a passing team, 3rd and 5 in a game like this, to call that kind of play.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
I'm glad that Pat Hayden gave you credit.
Yeah.
But what's he saying? Guts by Bob Burkowski to make that play. What's the guts about it?
3rd and 5, run the ball.
Yeah, he's got his best offensive lineman. He knows he can win.
True.
Yeah. Well, he drew up that play for that. Which is special, even more special. He drew up that play for that week against Notre Dame. And
that wasn't one of your typical plays. That was for the week.
Yeah, it was for the week, and it was like it was like a draw with tackle trap because we knew Zorich was going to try to pin in the center, so he thought it was going to be a pass,
right.
And then I came and blew him up and Steve went behind my back.
So I didn't see the video, JJ. How badly did he blow up? By the way, Chris Zorich is a hell of a player. How
it was absolutely a hell of a player.
Leon, who I guess was a redshirt freshman at the time.
I was a redshirt sophomore.
You looked like a senior playing against like a freshman, dude. And you look very athletic, went and absolutely destroyed him.
Nice.
Huge hole.
Nice.
From
and by the way,
number 30.
We're going to get a little later, probably in the second hour, we're going to get into this, how the College Football Hall of Fame list of potential candidates is out again, and no big stars. And we're going to get into this because I'm starting to get really annoyed by this whole thing. In fact, we might get Mario on the phone to get him to explain what in the world is going on down there.
Okay,
We'll see. All right, so listen, we're in the break, and JJ's talking about his greatest sports moment.
I wasn't talking about it.
Or I asked you about it.
You asked me, and I'm like, yeah, ninth grade, I had a walk-off double.
Walk-off double. All right.
Nice.
Big deal.
All right, in about a month ago.
You don't see me bragging about it.
So about a month. And how did that feel, by the way?
And no one asked me to throw out a first pitch anywhere afterwards.
When you had the walk-off double, how did it feel?
Oh, dude, the best, man. Yeah. As a kid and all your boys are there, like, it's, there's nothing better than that. Unfortunately,
rare, right?
I didn't have any, like, basketball. I wasn't exactly the guy that they would give it to as the clock is running down.
Right.
Let's just say that.
Right.
I was like, hey, stand in the corner and take a jumper.
All right, so about a month ago we were doing this. We said your worst sports moments. So now we're going to give you a chance to get involved on the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. 641-1010. Give us your greatest sports moments. The moments that individually, it can be anything. It can be, beating your brother in hopscotch, whatever. Anything.
No, we don't want
Tractor
those.
pull.
We don't want those. Beating your brother in hopscotch.
Bro, you
must have done that.
If we widen the net, the stories you'll get will be much greater than if you just say, give me X.
I got you.
So give me your greatest sports moment.
And listen, don't judge because you guys are, former pro athletes.
Just because you guys are elite guys that got paid to play sports.
Don't judge these texters.
Some of us schlubs had to go and strike out in the middle of a
I don't want to hear anything about no jumping rope championship like that. I'm just telling you
Some of us fall asleep at night thinking about that double in ninth grade.
Right. You got that right. Some of us dream about that.
Double Dutch winners and stuff like that.
Not all of us can have a guy slide a $20 million check to us, okay?
It was 5, by the way. It was 5.
All right. So yesterday, before we left, Aaron Rodgers became official. He joined the Steelers. He avoided OTAs, and he says he will show up for minicamp, which I believe Steelers also begin next week. Cleo, your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers? Number one, on Aaron Rodgers going to Steelers. And number two, how much do you think he's got left in the tank right now?
I think that's the question. What does he have left in the tank? Does he even, what's motivating him, right?
Right.
Like what's bringing him to this point in his career where he wants to join the Steelers organization and then try to lead this team to a Super Bowl? Is that the goal, ultimate goal, or is he just trying to get an extra payday before he sails into the sunset? I think more importantly, you see a guy like Cam Hayward that came out, a while ago and spoke on it. He was kind of frustrated with him taking his time to make the decision. And I kind of felt like they had a handshake already involved, and they knew they were going to make the deal happen, especially with the way the draft went. So it's kind of interesting to see them bring him in at this moment. I don't think he would take any reps at a minicamp right now. He will probably just start to get in shape, start to learn the playbook, and he'll be ready to go for training camp. But more importantly, he'll be able to get a chance to introduce himself to his teammates.
Right.
Learn those guys, learn the coaches, learn their tendencies and what they like to do and how they operate. And then just like Mike T do his thing, right? Because he's the guy that probably stood on the table for Aaron because he wanted that veteran quarterback.
Right.
And I don't know if he was all in on going with the rookie or a draft pick. or someone like a Mason Rudolph.
Right.
You know, I think he's more of like a security blanket. So I'm intrigued by it. I'm excited to see it, especially with the defense that they have. If he just goes out there and plays above average, I think he gives them a chance to make the playoffs and then try to, get hot like Indiana is doing in the NBA playoffs and make a run at it.
So that's the question, Leon, honestly, is what's his motivation right now? He's got money. He's got things outside of football that clearly challenge him, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's his motivation right now?
Well, I mean, listen, his play in New York was dysfunctional. I think organizationally, from the top of the bottom, even to the point I don't even think he respected the coach at times. I mean, you saw the little push on the sidelines. Right. I don't even think he respected the coach. I think that Aaron Rodgers doesn't need the money. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I just think that he doesn't want to go out the way he went out. This is definitely a one-hit wonder deal because he's got a one-year contract signed. And Pittsburgh I think they could be the benefactors of Aaron Rodgers wanting to run it back one more time because they haven't won the playoff game. And they're like, as great as Mike Tomlin is as a coach, he's 0-5 in the last playoff. Can Aaron Rodgers come in and 38 last year? I think it was respectful. Everybody saying, he's losing his. He had 3,800 yards,
right?
28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Will we take that here? Will we take that here? All freaking day. Right now, we will take that right now all freaking day. Right?
It's the all I do backflip.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's the thing: Can Aaron Rodgers take a Pittsburgh Steelers team and win a playoff game? Probably. He probably could. Pittsburgh, they're known for running the ball, playing sound defense. And then if he takes care of the football and makes the plays that maybe a Russell Wilson or a Justin Fields couldn't make, then, yeah, they can win a playoff game.
Right.
But they're not the stars in their division by no means. I mean, you got El Boogie and you got Joe Cool that you got to see twice. And the Steelers they've played well against both of those teams. So if you add a component like Aaron Rodgers, it elevates you, I think, in those crucial situations where you have to win a game against your division foe. Yeah, I don't see any problem with it.
This is the thing is, why I asked that, and I'm going to ask Cleo the same thing, is the motivation is, if he's motivated because he's annoyed or he's pissed off because people think he's done, he doesn't have it anymore, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
If he's doing it just to pick up a paycheck, that's a completely separate thing.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, he's 41 years old. He's not the 4-time MVP anymore. Okay, those days are long gone. I mean, he's a shell of that. I mean, if we were getting that in Pittsburgh, you'd be thinking Super Bowl. At best, Pittsburgh is thinking 9-8, 10-7, win a playoff game. And quite honestly, they didn't really do anything to address the future. I mean, you can't tell me that Will Howard drafted in the 6th round is your future quarterback. You won't draft him that for. So they've still got issues with the quarterback position next year when Aaron Rodgers is gone.
What do you think his motivation is? And I know it's kind of weird to ask you what you think his motivation is, but you're a former quarterback. You understand what it's like to have to finally give it up. Is it that? Is it that he knows he has to give it up quickly and he's got to take one more shot at it? Or you think it's money? Or you think he thinks he can win with the Steelers?
I think he thinks he can win. Really? I really do. I think with what he brings to the table, if he can stay healthy, that's the biggest deal. If they can protect him and he can stay healthy, I think he gives them a chance to compete in that division. Now,
that's a tough division.
It's a tough division, but I don't trust Cincinnati's coaching staff. I don't trust the decision making.
Really,
the way they're handling the defense and not paying the defensive players in Cincinnati, and they put a lot of money into their receiver room and Joe. So they have a lot of money, focused in a certain area. That's not a formula for success, right? You can see what the Ravens have done. I think they have the recipe. They just hadn't been able to get to that point to where they can get to the Super Bowl, but they're trending in the right directions, and they re-upped, their stud running back, King Henry, which made sense for them. Right. And then now you look at the Steelers. I just think they are very competitive. I think they have a great defense. I think they have a great head coach. I think their front office is solid. They make great decisions. Now they just need that veteran quarterback to come in and put it all together. And I think they can get hot for a year and make something happen. That's just me. That's my opinion.
Right.
Don't you think his motivation, just from interviews and everything, it just seems like he just wants to give double birds to the haters?
Yeah, I almost think it's that.
He has so many haters. He always has.
Gosh, but
now
even
more than
ever. Yeah. Yeah.
And he seems like the kind of guy that's just like, man, I really want to.
Once
stick
he
it to them.
once he waded into politics, that did it.
Oh, yeah.
Then he
The
got
vaccine and
so
all
many
that,
more
yeah.
people coming after him now. But if you look at that team, I mean, he's got 3 legit guys to throw to in DK Metcalf, Robert Woods, and Freiermuth. Those are 3 legit dudes.
He does, absolutely. But they still got offensive line issues, too.
Yeah.
I mean, he got a relatively young offensive line in front of him. Can they protect him? Can they establish the run game? Because, listen, the running game is going to be his best friend. I don't care how great Aaron Rodgers is. He's not the 4-time MVP anymore.
Right.
He's going to need some help. He's going to need some help with the running game and how innovative they're going to be with the offense. And you got to protect him because he's 41. He's 41 years old in the NFL. I mean, he's lost some mobility. I think he's still got the arm. Maybe not as effective as he was as an MVP, but you've got to have this guy protected, so he doesn't have to scramble around like he used to.
Yeah, they got Calvin Austin too, who's also a good player. I mean, that's defensively they're very solid. They're a solid 6 or 7 defensively out of 10. I mean, that's a team that legit, if they can protect him, I mean, they might a little noise. No,
yeah,
and I kind of think that Tom Brady could also be a factor in this in kind of a way, the way Tom went to Tampa, and took that same kind of approach.
Yeah.
He was late in his career and he wasn't putting up a lot of huge numbers, but he protected the football and he led that Tampa Bay team to a Super Bowl.
And they weren't like this elite team.
No, but they had a great defense.
Yeah, they did.
They had a great defense.
And
they had
got
great
D.
and they had a great receiver.
And DK Metcalf's a lot like, they're not the same person, okay?
Right.
DK's not there yet, but he's that type of big, fast guy, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
he's not Mike Evans, but that's the kind of thing we're talking about.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's what Aaron is thinking. Going to Pittsburgh, solid defense. I think he respects the coach tremendously.
Right.
And it was kind of baffling to me because usually the still away is not waiting on people to kind of figure things out. I mean,
that was Cam Hayward's point.
Yeah, they don't do that kind of stuff in Pittsburgh. Trust me, they don't wait around. So for them to show that kind of grace period towards Eric, where they don't get nobody in the draft, nobody in free agency. Now, I think a couple of components may have failed for them. Didn't fall their way. Maybe Matthew Stafford getting, his extension. Maybe Sam Darnold, those type of cats. Maybe they were in the mix and they didn't happen for Pittsburgh. And then they go in the draft and don't draft anybody in the draft till in the 6th round. And then to wait on, because one of my sources told me, man, we ain't sitting around here waiting for nobody.
One of your sources within the Steelers organization. Let's make that very clear.
And then they did. But then, like I said, you can beat your chest in February, and then
you see Mason Rudolph throwing at practice, and you're like,
exactly.
Hey.
But I think they had an ace card. They was holding the ace card with a possible Kirk Cousins trade eventually. So they had that, in their back pocket, just waiting just to see if that was the next direction they were going to go if they couldn't get the Aaron Rodgers deal done.
No matter how this season goes for the Steelers, they're going to still have issues next year. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is just a Band-Aid.
Say that.
He's a Band-Aid. He's not, I don't see.
The quarterbacks they've had in the last 4 or 5 years, my God. Actually, since Ben retired, really.
I know.
Just one god-awful mess after another.
But in my opinion, could this be the writing on the wall for Mike Tomlin? Is Mike Tomlin telling us, hey, I'm going to run it back one more year with you guys?
Right. If it doesn't work, I'm out.
This might be,
you know what I mean? Like, this might be his farewell tour. Give me Aaron. Let me try to do this one more time, and then I'll go find another guy.
I thought it was going to be his farewell tour for sure if he had gone this season with Mason Rudolph. I said, is he
and not by his choice.
Exactly. I said, is he self-sabotaging himself? You cannot line up in September with no Mason Rudolph. I don't care. I just don't care. So I'm glad to see that they did make a move, or they had something in order for, structurally in order for Aaron Rodgers to come and sign.
Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, Mitch Trubisky,
Russell Wilson,
and Justin Fields, and Kyle Allen. Since Ben Roethlisberger said, "Yeah, time to go." That's it's not good. That's ugly, actually, is what that is. That's a team that does well. I guess they did spend a first rounder on Pickett, but that's a guy that would not have gone in the first round in any of their drafts.
And some would say Big Ben probably stayed an extra 2
Too long,
Too long, you know? So,
which also probably kind of hurt them, too.
Yeah,
they were being respectful to him.
I mean, because you're not going to just give him, you're not giving Big Ben his walking papers. He's got to decide that this is it for him.
Yeah. All right, we need to go to break. We're going to come back and talk about your Jaguars next week in the minicamp. I'm going to get some thoughts from both Cleo and Leon about what it's like in minicamp and what to look forward to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday out there at the Mecca. Come on back.
Summer Sun. Get the summer feeling on Jacksonville's Summer Station. 1010XL. 1010XL.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Tucker Equipment Rental in Neptune Beach. You just don't rent quality machines, you rent quality customer service. Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Dave. Tucker Equipment Rental has been supplying Jacksonville with equipment and event rental for over 50 years.
From commercial and homeowner projects, we've got what you need: lifts, dirt equipment, and landscape equipment.
And don't forget about event rentals, from festivals to weddings to backyard barbecues.
Local, knowledgeable, and always ready to help.
Tucker Equipment Rentals.
You need it, we've got it, come see us.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal. Pretty nice weather we're having, huh?
You think this is nice?
I mean, it's sunny, warm. We do live in Florida.
It's not all upside, Jason. Warm weather comes, so all the cool people hit the beach. My old air conditioner craps out, so it's 1,000 degrees inside, and I'm stuck on a video call in my underpants trying not to sweat through my...
Wait. Put these sunglasses on.
I'm not going to put on your...
Whoa. The air conditioning experts at Bueller Air & Plumbing can keep your home office cool and comfortable all summer long. You look good in your meeting, impress the big guy with your cool confidence, maybe finally make assistant deputy regional manager.
Wow, air conditioning can do that?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend all summer worried the weather is going to be too nice, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On June 6, 2018, LeBron James passed Michael Jordan for most 30-point playoff performances.
James fakes, sets, fires.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. What's better than beer? Cold beer. Put your company logo on a custom koozie. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's The Mangler.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron, totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens, also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings, and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
Craving a cold one? Well, zip into one of the great gate locations you see all over town and pick up a cold Bud Light, or a Natty, or an Ultra. Maybe a 12-pack of the King of Beers, or some cold Coronas. It's all happening at your local gate convenience store. Slide on in today.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
All right, we're back on XLP. Matt Hayes, Leon Cersei, JJ LaSelva running the show, and of course, our special guest, the quarterback, Cleo Lemon. We asked for your... See, this is why you widen the net, Leon. Widen the net. We asked for your greatest individual achievement in sports. We've got some pretty good ones, man. One guy said he finished third in the weightlifting competition, which is fantastic. Winning beach league flag football, also fantastic. First championship and have my first kid all in the same year. I mean, what's better than that? Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? That's what it's all about, man.
I'm sure we got a lot of guys out there hole-in-ones.
Notre Dame grad station in Mayport watched the magical 2012 undefeated regular season from the Persian Gulf. Unexpectedly ended up back home between back-to-back deployments for Christmas, and more importantly, BCS Now Championship game against Banda. Paid $1K for a nosebleed ticket in Miami. That's his greatest accomplishment, Leon.
Coming to a Miami game?
Yeah, well, I mean,
I don't have no problem with that. Did we win?
No, that was the BCS Now Championship game, Notre Dame and Bama. He paid $1,000 for a nosebleed ticket in Miami to watch.
Okay, I got
you. To watch his beloved Irish kid.
That was 21-0 or 28, whatever that was.
It was 42-14.
Okay.
And it was like 35-7 at halftime. And I'm sure Taylor Dahl's driving around somewhere like swearing at the radio right now. Okay, so let's get into minicamp next week. Jaguars, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Your intrepid reporters here at the station will all be there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Mia, Carline, Frangie, Baloo. I'll be there. Joe will be there. Leon will be there. I think the Hacker will be there. Hacker will be back from vacation next week, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he'll be there. Fans are allowed to watch Wednesday's practice. So Cleo and Leon, we'll start with you, Cleo. What can we expect from mini camps? Obviously, you two, when you guys were in mini camp, you guys could hit. Can't hit anymore. So what can we expect, you think?
Well, I would like to see them continue to have the clean practices, right? They've been very clean, very efficient. You're seeing them moving around from drill to drill. You don't see a lot of false starts. You don't see a lot of pre-snap penalties. You don't see you've seen it a couple of times where the defense has touched the ball, but you don't want to see that in shorts. And you just want to see great decisions being made, and you want to see fundamental play, right? If they can continue to work on the fundamentals, continue to get a grasp of the offense and of the defense and the special teams, the schemes that they're installing, and I just see pretty much just showing your athletic ability. I would love to see some one-on-one action. I know me and you just talked about that in the break. I would like to see one-on-ones. I want to see Travis Hunter at DB lined in front of Brian Thomas. I want to see that.
I mean, I'm looking at the NFLPA.
You're talking dirty to me, and I kind of like it.
I agree, Hacker, completely. I'm with you guys totally. But I'm looking at the NFLPA rules, and it says no bump and run.
No bump and run.
Yeah. In fact, if I remember, Leon, didn't the great Urban Meyer get fined by the NFL or something happened because they were doing bump and run in OTAs?
I'm just sorry we're in this situation.
Yeah.
Didn't he do that? He did something
he
like that where he cost them a couple days of OTAs because he was running bump and run, I think, bump and run coverage drills.
You remember those days where he was taking score if guys they're competing against each other and giving them points?
I can tell you somewhere else he was scoring too. But it's another story.
Absolutely.
All right, so Leon.
Yeah.
What can these guys actually get out of this? I expect it to be just like the OTAs, no different. Yeah. I think they're going to run the exact same practices because if you're not hitting and you're not doing individual work, Like Cleo was saying in the break, like he'd love to see O-line, D-line, individual, one-on-one. Like
Not gonna see it.
Not going to see that. So we're not going to see that till July.
Listen, all these players are going to be at the driving range, working on their craft. That's it, polishing up your craft. That's what the fans can expect too. I mean, now maybe they put on a little show for the fans being there on Wednesday. Maybe they do red zone 7-on-7 or something like that. But I don't see anything. They won't do anything where there's a team period where there's a bunch of bodies, banging up against each other.
That could get entangled.
Yeah, it could get entangled
because on the NFL Players Association website, the first thing it says is player safety is the utmost importance.
Yeah. Yeah, for a very violent game, yeah. But yeah, that's all you're gonna see. That's all you're gonna see for real. Yeah, these guys are gonna be at the driving range working on their crash, and conditioning.
Right.
Because the heat always factors in. It's gonna be.
But are they conditioned? That's the funny thing you said that, because I was standing on the field yesterday with Tommy McManus, and he goes, "I haven't seen these guys condition yet." So when are they conditioning?
Well, apparently practice is conditioning. I mean, because I've watched Jaguar football for the last 7 some odd years, and they never once have one time they got on the sideline, they ran striders.
Right.
With Doug, they ran striders across. Nothing times where you're stressed.
Striders.
Bro, they run the striders now. They don't do no conditioning anymore. They consider practice conditioning.
Tommy told me, we were standing outside. Tommy said, we used to go to the, and I'm sure you were there because you're on the team.
Yeah.
You guys used to go to the strength coach like midway through practice and say, you got to tell us what we're running, what condition is going to be, because we need to know like how much we're going to have to save for it.
Absolutely.
Because you guys were dying during practice.
Bro, we did. We used to go over there when we didn't have a rep or where we weren't on the field, and we go to the weightlifting coach and we say, Coach, what we running today? And he'll say, I can't take. Come on, Coach. Okay, y'all got 3 half gases. Just 3? Yeah. Okay, I'm good.
So what's a full gasser?
Well, the full gas is down, back across the field.
Side field, sideways, not
sideways. Down, back, down, back. So I mean, but if you're running half gases, you're only running 3. Oh, now if you're running 6, you're stressed. Now you got to remember these half gases and gases are timed. Okay, they are timed. You have to make them in a certain time. Offensive line, offense and defense line run together.
Right.
Then wide receivers and cornerbacks, and then linebackers and safety. I mean, linebackers and tight ends run it.
Right.
So you all got a specific time. And if you didn't make it on time, you had to run another one. That's stress.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have that no more, bro.
No.
Man, come on.
Well,
they run striders now.
That also like kept you in peak performance level in the fourth quarter, which, by the way, was a giant problem for this team last year.
Yes, mentally. And Cleo can attest to this. We did that kind of stuff in practice because mentally you had to be strong enough when you're tired to keep it going. And then I got to be able to trust you in the fourth quarter when we need a drive to go down and win. And the biggest problem with this team last year is that mentally and physically in the fourth quarter, they faded.
Were they like 3-9 in one possession games or something like that?
Yeah, they were terrible, bro.
Is that so? What kind of factors does that play into it, Cleo? Like if you're a team that is struggling in one possession games, specifically in the second half, which they were all last season, is that a reality of not being in condition, or is it just a reality of losing mental focus?
Yeah, it's mental toughness, and that's part of it. Feeling that strain physically at the same time and trying to find a way to get through it. And I'll give you a quick Nick Saban story. When I was with the Dolphins, we used to train and condition after practice, and that was probably one of the only teams I was on that we actually did that.
Wait, hang on real quick. Were you on the team where he made Luther Wright cry?
Yeah, I was there.
Were you there that day too?
Yeah, I was probably a couple lines over.
Oh my God.
But
I continue. Sorry, we're gonna get into that off the air because that's a classic story.
But Coach Saban he was big on conditioning.
Yeah,
and he didn't care how many Pro Bowls you had been to. Jason Taylor. It didn't matter. Zach Thomas, he didn't care. But it was one person that didn't care for what he was saying, and that was Big Truck. D tackle. Big Truck had been in the league close to 15,
What's
16
his name?
years. Keith Traylor.
Keith Traylor, okay.
So tractor trailer?
Yeah.
Oh,
so Big Truck, when it was time to condition, Big Truck 6'4", 6'5", almost 400 pounds.
Yeah.
He was run stopper. Yeah, it's time to condition. The truck would turn around and walk to the bike, get on the bike. And you'll see Nick Saban go over to the strength coach and start cussing him out. right? You'll curse the strength coach out, asking him why he keeps going over to the bike. All right. Then one day, I guess the strength coach asked, well, why don't you go ask him? You know, this is like 3 days in a row. He hadn't run.
Right.
So Nick goes over there and everybody's looking like, oh, watch this. Truck's over there on the bike doing this little deal. And Nick takes his hat off and he's over there screaming and yelling, why you don't ever do this? He said, Nick, man, you pay me to stop the run. If I'm down 15 or 20 yards making tackles, then you got the wrong man on this team. I'm not running that. I don't make tackles 15 to 20 yards down the field. I'm not doing that. And I think that was the start of the process when Nick Saban realized this professional league is not for me.
Right.
I'm not used to players telling me what they're going to do and what they're not going to do. So that was a conditioning story when it comes to Nick, man, and he was big on conditioning.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, in college, just conditioning was everything. He would make, like, guys that would weren't practicing because, I don't know, like a hand or that's something that wasn't related to legs, were conditioning. Yes. 100% they were conditioning.
Absolutely.
Whether they were practicing or not, they were conditioning.
Well, there's another thing that we used to do in minicamp too. They used to put us in. And Cleo can remember this, when they would put the offense in certain situations where you're down 6, you got to go 70 yards, and you need a touchdown. And this will be right after practice, right? Right after practice, they will put you in these scenarios to see how you react to it, to see if you jump offside, legal procedure, all that kind of stuff. So when you're tired, you just got to continue. When you're tired, are you mentally equipped to still do your job? And they did the same thing for the offense, the same thing for the defense. Defense, okay. Offense is out there, you got to stop them, this and that, whatever. So, I mean, all those little nuances that you can do in practice that are important, because you know at some particular point in the game you're going to be in that situation, and then something's got to trigger to get your mind and the body to respond to it properly.
You know, it's interesting that you brought that up, because I always wondered why we never saw that period. Why would you never see that period? I have not seen that in a Jaguars practice, that period of sub 2 minute. In college they call it sub 2 minute. Well, when it's like 50-something seconds and you got to go.
Yeah. We had 2 minute drill and Cleo, we had 4 minute offense.
Yes.
So we had 4 minute offense.
Why do we not see those
if you got the lead, you got the lead. You got to run the clock out. So we had 2 minute drill and we had 4 minute offense. Yeah, we had that kind of stuff. Bro.
My question is, why are we not seeing it now?
Oh, man.
Even if you're running against the air, it doesn't matter. You're still running it.
Yeah, I agree.
You're running it. You're getting the reps. And number one, you're getting conditioning.
The whole purpose behind doing that is when now we conditioned. So after we conditioned, they would tell us to go, like we ran those 3 half gassers. That was a light day. But then they would say, okay, offense line up, first offense up. You're down 6. You got such minutes to go in the game. And you got to go score a touchdown.
Right. On the ball. Yeah, of course.
If there was illegal procedures, all that, they say, take it back, penalty. So guys are tired, and then they make sure the snap count is never on go. It's on 1 or 2. So if you jump off sides, they say off sides, and then you got to take it back. And you got to remember, the clock is ticking. So the coaches got the time and everything. They want to see how mentally equipped you are to go down the drive and score a touchdown without jumping off sides or legal position.
But you did that in the NFL.
Yeah.
You did that with the Jags and the Steelers.
Yeah.
And you do that in the NFL, right, too?
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. I got a good feeling we're going to see that this year. I don't know why. I just have a feeling that there's a new sheriff in town.
I hope so.
The young guns are taking over.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. We're going to come back, get a little more into some NFL talk, some Jags talk, and College Football Hall of Fame talk with one Leon Searcy. Come on back.
Here's another classic Florida Gator moment.
The winner of this year's Heisman Trophy is Tim Tebow.
I'd like to thank my teammates. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here, and I'm accepting this trophy on behalf of them.
1010XL, home of the Florida Gators.
Hello, all you Jacksonville sports fans. Don here from Taco Lou. If you're in the mood for some great tacos, cold Dos Equis, and maybe even a sip of some fine tequila, then the Lou is calling your name. Come out to Jack's Beach and experience what many have dubbed the #1 taco in the 904. There are plenty of great taco joints in town, and we're proud to have been around for this long, and we have only you, the fine people of Jacksonville, to thank for helping us grow and become who we are today. Cheers to you, Jacksonville, and thank you from the Lou crew. Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione Law.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
What Jacksonville Jaguars player has scored the most touchdowns?
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
With 81 touchdowns scored in his career, Maurice Jones-Drew is the all-time touchdown leader for the Jaguars. Fred Taylor is second with 70.
Southern Oak Insurance.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold's recently hit an all-time high at over $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Join Into the Night with Rick Ballou at Front Runners Tap House inside the Community First Igloo for the Stanley Cup Final. $1 wings, $3 drafts, and much more. 6 to 8 at Front Runners Tap House.
Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. It's been a few months since they built my custom closet. Even my family is obsessed. And with Father's Day right around the corner, why not surprise Dad with his own custom garage workspace? Tool storage, workbenches, the whole works. Closets by Design creates custom solutions for every space, lifestyle, and budget. That includes Dad's. Call to schedule your free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off. Visit closetsbydesign.com.
Denny Thompson here. You got to check out Tyson's Showroom Home Theater with surround sound and comfy theater chairs. You can transform your living room into a cinematic experience. I can stay there to watch all my games. It's that comfortable. Call Tyson today and bring the theater experience home. Tyson Sound and Security, your security, home theater, and home automation experts. New showroom at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming Island.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
If you're tired of weekend projects turning into weekend disasters, you're not alone. Building a fence isn't as easy as it looks. And let's face it, your neighbor still hasn't fixed his lopsided masterpiece. But Superior Fence and Rail makes it easy. Highly trained professionals, top quality materials, and a fence you'll love for years to come. Skip the stress and call the pros today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
Why does Northeast Florida buy from Arlington Toyota? Because Arlington is the place to go for big selection. I'm talking over 800 vehicles, one location, plus 60-day exchange. Love it or exchange it within 60 days. Why buy from Arlington? Because right now you can get financing as low as 0% on select new Toyota models and no payments until January 2026. Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter mile east of 295, or at arlingtontoyota.com.
David here with Royal Pest Services. Man, don't let your yard be torn up by that heavy aeration machine this spring. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to learn more about our granular aeration, broadcast throughout the tree and shrubs to break up that compacted soil. Visit RoyalPestServices.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by USA Park Airport Parking. Out in Corvallis, Oregon tonight, the Florida State Seminoles will begin their super regional matchup against the Oregon State Beavers. The winner of this best-of-3 series can earn themselves a trip to Omaha, Nebraska for a spot in the College World Series. The Seminoles are riding some hot bats with one of the best offenses left in the postseason, averaging nearly 8 runs per game. Shortstop Alex Lodis, an alumni of Bartram Trail High School and former UNF Osprey, is on a heater at the plate this season, boasting a .405 average with 17 home runs and 67 RBIs. First pitch of tonight's game will be at 6 o'clock, airing nationally on ESPN2, followed by tomorrow's game beginning at 9 o'clock, also on ESPN2. The Noles hope to reach their second straight College World Series berth under third-year head coach Link Jarrett. It's 89 degrees at 3:02. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
All right, it's XLP. JJ, you know, this is it's not really a Weezer song. It's a Toto song. It's an original Toto tune. Great song.
But this is Weezer doing their song?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a great tune. We're back here on XLP. Matt Hayes, Leon Cersei, JJ LaSalva running the show. Our special guest, the quarterback, Cleo Lemon. This is why you cast a wide net, Leon. You ready for this? The 690, when we're talking about your greatest individual moments as a sports star, no matter what. Mm-hmm. Kentucky basketball camp, sophomore to junior year in high school. Guys at the camp were Walter McCarty, Anthony Epps, Tony Doug, Roderick Rhodes, Jeff Shepard. Coaches were Rick Pitino and Billy D. So this was probably early 90s. 3-on-3 drills, give and go. Let's just say he posterized some guy. Says he cleared the entire gym out. Probably one of the coolest feelings ever. And then he adds, and I'm a white boy, LOL.
Is this practice? Are we talking about practice?
I'm guessing it was a camp.
Oh, it was a
Kentucky
camp?
basketball camp. Yeah, it's a Kentucky basketball
nice.
camp. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You usually play like some scrimmages.
All right. I give it to you.
Yeah. Here's the 662 says, my sophomore year of high school, I was out in the wrong heat for my 200-meter breast race. I was racing against upperclassmen that were like the bad varsity swimmers. I won the race by half a length, and then I was awarded a sportsmanship award because I waited for the last swimmer to finish before I got out of the pool. But I wasn't trying to be nice. I was just straight gassed and couldn't get out if I wanted to.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Now, speaking of being gassed, Leon.
Yeah.
Before we get into the College Football Hall of Fame stuff, off the air you were talking about the conditioning you when you're at Miami. This is legendary. You talk about this all the time. The 110s that you had to do. You had to do 16 110s, 110. You run 110. Had to make it in a certain amount of time.
Yeah. Get
a 45-second break. Run 110 yards again. 16 times you did that.
Yeah, I had to do it 16 times.
You had to do it.
Had to do it in the heat. We ran out 16 110s like in July, the end of July. And the test is grueling enough, but then the mental strain that is embarked upon you makes you can't even sleep at night, bro. You can't sleep at night. I'm telling you, you can't sleep at night.
Because you're so stressed.
You're stressed, man. You're just so stressed by it. So
you said you got to the NFL.
So when I got to the NFL, I was like, the hell with the 110. I would never see those again. And I'm so happy for it. When I went to the Pittsburgh Steelers, our conditioning test was 1540s. They would take the time of the guy who ran the fastest 40 in your group,
right?
And then they would add 2 seconds onto it. So Damani Dawson, the dirt ran like a 4.85 or something crazy at the combine or something like that. So whatever. So our time was 6.85, right? So they had this machine, this device that they put on the ground. They put the timer on it.
Electronically timed.
Time. So you before it went bang, you had to be across the line. But 1540s was nothing. It was 1540s. I was built for speed, not for long distance. Right? I'm no do long distance stuff. So when we got to Jacksonville, Tom Coughlin, and I know the fellas, they listening. We had to run 3 300-yard shuttles. So you had to go 60, 60, 60, and so you had to do 300. And hey, they were timed. You had to make them a certain amount of time. And you got rest time in between each shuttle.
Right.
Yeah, but they were still grueling.
And if you didn't make it,
you had to run them again.
If one person didn't make it, you had to run them again.
No,
one person.
Individually, you had to make it.
Because in Miami, if you guys didn't make it, they all did, right?
Yeah, but in Miami, if you missed it, no, in Miami, if you missed it was on you at the group. But if you jumped and went before,
then the whole group, right?
Then the whole group got another one. Yeah,
right.
absolutely. Yeah, it was crazy.
See, but that kind of stuff, Cleo, that's the kind of stuff that kind of like galvanizes a team, does it not?
It does, because I can remember being at Arkansas State, and when we would run out, to Leon's point, we didn't get to the 110s until July, right? You would build up to that because July was hot. And we had, you know how you have the temperature outside when drivers are passing by, you can see the temperature, the current temperature.
Yeah.
And there was one of those like right next to our practice field.
Right.
And we would walk out and it'd be a heat advisory. And then you'll look over at the temperature and it'll be 101, right? And we're walking to the field. We will be running 24 110s. And we will be walking to the field looking at a temperature of 101. I can remember those days. They was dreadful days. They were terrible.
Plus, there in Ark State, you're in the middle of the state. There's no breeze, nothing, man.
Well, see, here's the reason why we did that kind of stuff during training camp and stuff like that, because there was a bonding of players. That the reason why we did training camp, because we all had to survive it. You know what I'm saying? So there was a bonding that, if you saw a guy a little down or whatever, you was like, hey man, you had, right. So it was like a bonding. It was like we got to go through this because the prize is the games on Sunday.
There's no surviving in these right now. There's no surviving in these camps right now.
Well, no, there's no stress. There's no stress in these camps. Man, you know how many times I would know I had to wake up at like 6:45 in the morning, right? And I would turn over in my bed, and this is doing training camp. I would turn over in my bed, and I see it's 5:10. That's like, oh man, I got another hour of sleep at least. And I would take that hour all day. I would have a smile on my face when I turn over, and it's like my clock. I say, oh man, it's just 5:30. I got at least another hour. I mean, that type of stuff. They would never have to endure anything. Or when you get on the elevator with the fellas and you hate everybody in there. You hate the guy. You don't even know why.
Everybody stinks.
Everybody just is tired.
Did you not shower? Yeah, of course.
But then the bond in the locker room, because we all want to see each other survive this.
Yeah.
And then that bond builds through that adversity.
Yeah.
It builds.
Like
and then it builds character going through that kind of stuff. Because then you can appreciate the games even more because you went through so much to get there.
Yeah.
That's why you don't take the games for granted, because of training camp.
So what you're saying basically is we should hope for conditioning with this group.
It's not going to happen.
During camp.
It's not going to happen.
You don't think? No. At all?
No, it won't.
All right, let's move real quick over to the College Football Hall of Fame. I want to talk about this because earlier this week, the ballot came out for the College Football Hall of Fame, and we've been trying to get Leon on this ballot for 3 years now. We've been working with Miami's publicist to get him on, and he says it's going to happen. And we got Mario on it at one point, and he said it was going to happen. They were going to get it done. And lo and behold, the ballot comes out this year. And
well, but before we get there, let me go ahead and congratulate the guys who did make the ballot. That Miami did nominate because they nominated some great Ken Dorsey,
nice,
Larry Coker, and Jonathan Vilma. Okay, so as much as they didn't nominate me, I'm even more happy the fact that they made
congratulations to all of them. Let me just real quick. Let me just be very clear here. Is Ken Dorsey the greatest quarterback to ever play at Miami?
It's close.
Or even one of the two?
Yeah, it's close.
I don't know, bro.
It's close, bro.
There's a lot of good quarterbacks playing in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, it's close. He's one that got a chip. He's got a chip.
He was the benefactor of a lot of good pieces around too.
But Vinny and Kelly don't have a chip.
Is Coker the greatest coach to ever coach in Miami?
Absolutely not, no.
Is John Vilma the greatest linebacker in Miami history?
He's up there.
He's top 5.
He's not Bernard Clark.
Yeah, he's better than Bernard.
You think he is?
Yeah.
Really?
Better than Bernard.
Better than Jesse Armstead?
Yeah, he's better than Jesse.
He might be top.
He's not. Darren Smith. You got Darren Smith, Ray Lewis, and Michael Barrows. I put him in that.
Those all three were ahead of him.
And with Dan Morgan.
Dan Morgan.
Yeah. So he's in the mix. Just trust me.
My point is, you've got who many consider the greatest offensive lineman at Miami ever.
Mm-hmm.
If not the greatest, certainly you are right there with Bryant McKinney.
Yeah, I agree.
How have you not been? So let me go over the offensive
Because I'm
lineman.
going to tell you the reason why they don't do it. Because at some point, listen, the most popular team at Miami is 2001.
Yeah, of course.
They get all the attention. Rightfully so. They're considered one of the greatest college football teams of all time. And
other than by LI, which LI made it very clear that 2008 was the best team ever.
There was
know that.
There was a glitch in the
I've
Matrix.
erased all those tapes.
Glitches, man.
There was a glitch.
Scrub that from the internet.
That was a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah.
So
That was Leon Interactive, baby.
It doesn't exist. So, at some particular point, I mean, one of the guys that played with me, we kind of made light of this, that anything past 2000, we're considered ancient artifacts now.
Really?
Yeah, because most of the people that entertain this kind of stuff are youngsters who.
You think it's time then?
I think it's just time. Yeah, I do. I think it's just time. I think that. I don't
You think time has erased a consensus All-American and a 3-time national champion? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, I mean, why have I not gone in there yet?
That's a great question, especially when you listen to these offensive linemen. Okay, you ready for these guys?
Yeah.
There's 6 on the ballot.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one 2-time All-American that you could say, well, he was 2-time All-American. Leon was only 1-time All-American. That's Jeff Bragle at USC, the mid-'80s.
Mm-hmm.
The other guys, Flozell Adams, great player, Michigan State, late 90s, All-American. Alan Faneca at LSU, great player, late 90s,
absolutely.
All-American.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The Brickshaw Ferguson, Virginia, mid-2000s, All-American. I don't know that I would say great player. I think he was a good college player.
Mm-hmm.
Decent pro, right?
Yeah,
Kicked around a little bit and just...
He was drafted pretty high, right?
Yeah, drafted really high. Top 10, I believe.
I remember the show.
Leotis Harris, an old school guy from Arkansas in the late 70s, an All-American.
Mm-hmm.
And then Olin Kreutz, who was a great player at Washington in the late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But you fit right in there, bro.
Yeah, well, listen, we joked about this off the air. And I said, I'll probably be somewhere like 80. And then they'll show me some flowers then. I'll be about 80 years old. I'll be in the Legends group, something like that. I'm not losing no sleep over it. Just say that, all right?
I think Joe and I are losing a little sleep over it.
Nah,
Joe and I are like,
don't do it.
It's so weird. Joe and I are the upset ones about it, and you don't care at all about it, which is...
I don't care because listen, I left my mark. I left my mark. You're talking about a kid only playing 1 year of high school football. I was a 2-star recruit.
Right.
All right. And I went to of all schools, I went to the University of Miami and left there a legend. Bro, I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Are you in the Evans High School Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I am.
All right.
Yeah.
Cleo, you in the High School Hall of Fame?
And I probably shouldn't be. You only played 1 year of high school. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's crazy. It just recently happened. So it was probably about 3 years ago. I went into my hometown's Athletic Hall of Fame, and then that same year.
Where's your hometown?
Greenwood, Mississippi.
Okay.
And then that same year, I went into Arkansas State's Athletic Hall of Fame.
Oh, nice.
So that was a good run for me. That was pretty cool. And I had my family there to witness everything, and it was awesome.
Yeah, big plaques and everything. And
yeah, man.
Nice.
Yeah, it was. And when you get into talking about Leon, I think when you have the respect of your teammates and your peers, I think that's all you really want. You got some sports writers that have their opinions and they get the right people in and tell their stories. But at the same time, sometimes they miss it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they miss greatness. But when you got the players that respect it, I think that's all you really want as a player.
So in that brand new Ark State football facility, you got your name on the wall. Is that what you're telling me?
It's over there somewhere. I got a little portrait and, all that good stuff.
Nice.
And
That's really
it's come a long way since I was there.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Listen, it means, like Cleo said, it means more when you go to Miami. Like you say, you got your name on it. You go to Miami and your name's in the rafters. I'll take that all day over some national, pundits in the college football. I take that all day.
I had no idea your name was in the rafters.
Yeah, I walk. You walk in the University of Miami, my name's in the rafters.
That's awesome.
I take that all day, bro. All day. At the University of Miami?
That's awesome.
Come on, bro. I take that all day.
Not in the stadium, at Miami, you mean?
No, not in the stadium. No, I haven't made the Ring of Honor yet. But I'm talking about the Green Tree. Yeah, Green Tree Tree, right? Yeah, Green Tree Tree. Yeah, I'm good with that.
That's good enough for you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we're going to get you in the hall, man. I can guarantee you Joe and I are going to make this happen. That's 100% going to happen. All right, we need to go to break. We'll come back, talk some more Jags in the minicamp, which begins next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Wednesday is the day for fans to go and watch your Jaguars. Go watch number 12 and number 16, and then also watch the best player on the team, number 7. Come on back.
Living life on the edge of your seat.
Are you kidding me?
Your front row seat for play-by-play.
Break it free, then I'm going to catch you.
1010XL.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Big Chief Tire offers affordable quality tires for every type of vehicle. Frank Frangie here. Whether you're looking for all-season tires, high-performance options, or something more budget-friendly, Big Chief has the perfect set to keep you rolling. Their expert technicians ensure your tires are installed quickly and safely so you can drive with confidence. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your appointment and check out their unbeatable tire deals today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal. Pretty nice weather we're having, huh?
You think this is nice?
I mean, it's sunny, warm. We do live in Florida.
It's not all upside, Jason. Warm weather comes, so all the cool people hit the beach. My old air conditioner craps out, so it's 1,000 degrees inside, and I'm stuck on a video call in my underpants trying not to sweat through my...
Wait. Put these sunglasses on.
I'm not going to put on your...
Whoa. The air conditioning experts at Bueller Air & Plumbing can keep your home office cool and comfortable all summer long. You look good in your meeting, impress the big guy with your cool confidence, maybe finally make assistant deputy regional manager.
Wow, air conditioning can do that?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend all summer worried the weather is going to be too nice, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit DreamfindersHomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to DreamfindersHomes.com for more details.
Share your voice anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Are you serious? Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
If you can't call or email, text us. 641-1010.
The coolers are full at your local Gate gas station, making it easy for you to cruise in and cruise out with little downtime. Ice cold Coronas, Natty Light, Stella Artois, and Michelob Ultra. And don't forget the king of beers, Cold Buds. Gate's got them in the cooler, waiting for you.
Frank Frangie here from my bank, South State Bank. South State has been committed to delivering world-class customer service that businesses like yours and mine can count on. From personalized support to cutting-edge banking solutions, South State Bank has blended the trusted traditions we all value with the innovation you need for tomorrow. Whether you're managing cash flow or investing in growth, South State Bank is here to help you move forward. Visit southstatebank.com or visit your local branch today. That's South State, member FDIC.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite roofing contractor lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjax.com.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Frank Francie here for Bono's Pit Barbecue. Bono's has been serving Jacksonville's best barbecue since 1949. Now, to thank all their loyal customers, Bono's is bringing back their Club 49 card. You can get a $500 gift card for only $350. That's a savings of $150. You can purchase your Club 49 card at any of the Bono's locations around town. And you'll want to get to Bono's soon to get the spring wing deal. You get 6 wings and a side for just $11.99. Head to Bono's, and remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
A chipped windshield can turn into a big problem fast. Lauren Brooks here. Trust Novus Glass of Jacksonville for expert repair and replacement. Call 904-289-2905 for Novus Glass in Orange Park. 904-289-2905.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
All right, we're back in XLP. Matt Hayes, Leon Searcy, the quarterback, Cleo Lemon, JJ, keeping it all smooth. Joe is out, his final day of vacation. He's in Nashville right now doing the old key grip stuff. It really is going to be a key grip. We were asking you for your greatest individual sports success stories. Cleo, this has got a little connection to you. The 651 says, does Cleo remember knocking the blank out of me playing basketball at LA Fitness? Probably not. Elbow to the head, no call from the ref. That would be a flagrant one these days. Then he said, I did cross over Lito in that game. I'm guessing that's Lito Shepard one time. But he was full court pressing me with Jabbar. I'm guessing that's Jabbar Gaffney. Not fair for a 30 and over league. Yes, I'm whining.
That was a good league. That was a really good league.
Really?
Yeah, Lito's
Not for that guy.
Not for him.
Can
But
Lito play?
Lito can play.
Really?
Lito's an athlete. He's a hell of an athlete.
Jabbar any good?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. We won a lot of games in that league.
So that you guys were on the same team?
Yeah, well, I recruited the team. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm not a bad
wow.
recruiter.
Interesting. Interesting. So do you remember knocking him in the head?
I don't.
All right.
I knocked a lot of people around in that.
He said it's flagrant one, by the way.
My bad.
Imagine like me and my boys showing up in that league and we're playing like former literal pro athletes. I just
Imagine
that doesn't
RJ
seem
showing
very
up in that
fair.
league.
Yeah, RJ
Yeah, where's
is
RJ?
in that league.
Yeah,
I
where's
just don't
RJ?
want that smoke, man.
He said he wanted it earlier.
Who?
He said he wanted it.
Your
He was
mouth,
just in here.
Listen, your mouth say a lot till you get in the paint.
Bro, he was in here like yelling at Cleo saying he wants it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants it.
See what happens? You lose
Barking
about
dog.
30
Listen,
pounds, you start to get a little
barking dog.
a little froggy, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
barking dog that has no bite.
The chucker looking pretty good
The
now.
chucker. Yeah, he's a
pretty
slim
good.
down. I'm happy. I'm
But,
happy.
you know, he's still a chucker anyway you look at it. He's not. The last thing RJ's doing is
He's not in the
He's back
He's not in the paint. He's not in the paint, man.
He's not boxing anybody out. or
No,
backing
he's
anybody
shooting
down.
15, 20 footers.
Just
Know that I'm ultra soft.
just like Hack. Same thing, man. Just like Hack.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so next week obviously is the beginning of minicamp. And we were going to the break. I said, Wednesday is a day for fans. They can go watch. You can see all your boys. You can see the brand new draft picks. Travis Hunter looks fantastic. You can see all the things we've been telling you. Devin Lloyd's lost weight. Josh Hines-Allen's lost weight. Tyson Campbell looks terrific. I mean, if you were to make like Leon and Cleo a physical specimen of what a corner should look like, I mean, it's Tyson Campbell. He's 6'2". He's long. I mean, he's a strong guy, lower body and upper body. He's exactly what you want in a corner. The problem is he can't stay on the field.
Yeah, and that's a concern. And maybe that has a little bit to do with conditioning as well. I know Coach Johnson used to tell us, if you get hurt during practice, it's your fault. You were in the shape. I mean, that was the thought. That was the trained thought at that particular time.
If you got hurt, it's your fault.
Yeah, if you got hurt, it's your fault. If you pulling stuff, I'm telling you, that's what Coach Johnson used to tell us in Miami. If you're pulling stuff, he's saying that you didn't come in shape.
Pulling a hammy or
Bro, he would tell us that. He'd say, listen, if you getting hurt out here, it means that you weren't in shape before you got here.
I mean, there's some validity to that. There's no doubt there is.
I mean, like Tyson Campbell. I mean, he's got all the attributes. I mean, like you say, he's tall, long. I mean, I remember I was watching the kid when he was at down in Miami. No, when he was at high school. When he was in high school, because there was a bunch of NFL players that were coaching.
When you were trying to get him to Miami and get him paid?
No, American Heritage.
That was a different.
Yeah. No, he played at American Heritage.
Did you say you tried to get him to Miami? Was it him or someone else you tried to get to Miami?
No, who I tried to get to Miami?
I thought it was someone from that Georgia team. They went to Georgia, but you tried to get into Miami. That's another story.
Yeah, that's another story.
So he played for Pat Surtain.
Patrick Surtain. Yeah, he played for Patrick. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember he was down there. Amazing athlete. Yeah,
bro. I'm telling you right now, he is. If you had a prototypical what a corner would look like, it's Tyson Campbell. He's a guy that's 6'2", that can run like he can, that has long like he is, that's physical like he is. If he could stay healthy, I mean, he could be like one of the elite guys in the league. Can't stay healthy. So that's the hope, is that he does. Here's what this is all building to, okay? And I want to kind of bring this back to last year as well, because it's just amazing to me. So Brian Thomas looks great. You guys saw him out there. He looks like he's bigger. Hasn't lost any speed. He just looks like it's all, you say, Cleo, in the break, looks like it's all slowing down for him.
Right.
And he just looks smooth out there, man. He's just literally exploding out of breaks. That's when you know a receiver's got it. Like, remember when Calvin Ridley first got here, and the difference between Calvin Ridley and the rest of the receivers, you were like, oh, my God.
Right.
It was clearly a difference. That's what it is now. Like, he's legit a top 10 receiver. And here's the thing. He's a top 10, top 13, 14 receiver in the league, and he had Mac Jones throwing to him for 8 games. Not only that, this is the most amazing part of all. This team, this offensive coordinator, Press Taylor, or Doug Peterson, or whoever it was that made this decision, went 12 games without giving him double-digit targets. 12 games. The first 12 games of his NFL career. Then the game that Trevor was knocked out with the concussion, never came back, he got 10 targets. But think about this, okay? And then he got double-digit targets the rest of the way, okay? Think about this. The loss to Minnesota at home, they lost 12-7, a game they easily could have won, right? 3 targets, 2 catches. 3 targets, 2 catches, 12 yards.
Well, Mac Jones was terrible in that game.
The loss to the Eagles, to the Super Bowl champion Eagles, they could have won the game. Again, another 1-possession loss. 4 targets. The loss to the Packers, a game they should have won. Another 1-possession loss. 4 targets. What the hell were they doing last year?
Well, listen, this is a double-edged sword, okay? I blamed him and the Jaguars because he hasn't gotten to diva mode yet. And everybody say he's quiet and he's reserved and all that kind. But at some particular point in the game, when you know you're the best player on the field, especially on the Jaguar side, you need to go to the coach or the coordinator or Trevor and say, hey, this guy can't cover me. Give me the damn ball. Because, listen, initially, let me tell you something. When Jimmy Smith was here initially, Jimmy was initially quiet when he first came here.
Right.
Jacksonville, because we came in together, right? Quiet and reserved and all the other kind of stuff. But when then Jimmy grew into himself, the diva mode, and knew that he was the baddest man on the field, he would go to TC, Brunell, and the coordinator and say, hey, this guy can't cover me. Get me the damn ball.
Okay. And again, I understand what you're saying, all right? But you also know, both of you also know, that these game plans are made during the week.
And that's what I was leading towards.
So they're made during the week, and you have an idea of what you want to do. How many times you want X guy to get the ball, how many times you want this guy to get the ball. Cleo, how can you go into a game where you've got now, this is still where they're terrible. They're 1-4, 1-5, 2-5. They're 2-5 right now. They're teetering. They're 2-5 with a game against the Packers that they can win, get to 3-5. Who knows after that? Get a little momentum, right? It's a game you can win. How do you go into that game and get him 4 touches?
I think as an elite receiver, you can kind of figure out what the offensive coordinator and his plan is for you during the week. If he's not moving you around within the formation, he's not motioning you.
Right.
He's not putting in different shifts and motions, and he's just lining you up in one spot for that game. You know going in, if you see any type of rotation towards you, they're taking you away. And if they're not moving you to different positions within the offense, you're not going to get those targets because the defense rotations is saying to Trevor, do not throw it over there. And if you're not making those adjustments for that elite receiver, now you're kind of handicapping the quarterback to where he's pushing the ball. And then defensively, the scheme is, all right, we want Trevor to throw the ball to that guy instead of that guy. And
Right.
that's what happens, at a stat line, you see 3 catches or 3 targets and 2 catches.
I totally understand, but you know what the response to that is? You know what the resolve for that is? Formations in motion.
Absolutely.
Get him open. It's not that difficult, right?
During the week.
Yeah.
Now we get into the game, and now you can only adjust so much, right?
But you can adjust enough to get him open. Everybody rolls the defense on Jamar Chase. Everybody rolls the defense on Justin Jefferson.
Right.
They're still catching balls. They're still catching touchdowns.
But that lets you know how smart and mentally in tune they are with the game of football.
Right. Whereas
Whereas
other guys on this that were coaching this team, right. That's kind of my point. I mean, and the funny thing too, Cleo, is the week before against the Patriots, the week before the Packers game against the Patriots, 5 targets, 5 catches, 89 yards, touchdown. At that point, don't you think, all right, we might have something here? Let's start getting him the ball 10 times a game.
I'm sure they saw it in training camp. This guy is special. But you know what? Help is on the way. And I was looking at Liam Cohen and what he was doing with Mike Evans in Tampa, and just seeing, 74 catches on the season, 79 catches. And his biggest during his career, I think the most catches he's had in the season was 96. The second most is like 86.
Right.
1,300 yards, 1,500 yards. And then the most touchdowns he had in a season looked like it's 15, 14 touchdowns in a season.
Right.
So you're hoping that's what they're bringing to the offense. Right. Using Brian the way they use Mike and being able to move him around and use that skill set that he possesses.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, these are a lot of ifs. A lot of ifs, Leon. If they can protect Trevor and he stays healthy, Brian Thomas is going to have, and again, if Brian Thomas stays healthy, I bet he has like 90, 95 catches, 12, 14 touchdowns. And not just because it's Liam Cohen, it's because he is the real deal, man.
He is.
When y'all go out there Wednesday and you watch number 7, you're going to leave that mini camp thinking, okay, 12's nice, 7's everything. 7 is everything. All right, we need to go to break. We'll come back and wrap this thing up.
Friends, fun, and the best sports talk in town.
Oh, come on. What do you say? Are you in?
1010XL.
Talk about a great time.
Duval's Good Timin' Sports Talk Radio.
It's a battle of football champions as your Sharks take on the Arizona Rattlers. Don't miss any of the action this Saturday, June 7th. Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. Try the new Family 4-Pack. 4 tickets, 4 $10 vouchers, and a $20 Al's Pizza gift card for only $100. Get tickets at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. 904-621-0700. 621-0700.
It's a battle of football champions as your Sharks take on the Arizona Rattlers. Don't miss any of the action this Saturday, June 7th. Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. Try our Family Fun Pack. 4 tickets, 4 $10 vouchers, and a $20 Al's Pizza gift card for only $100. For tickets, go to jackssharks.com or call 904-621-0700. That's 904-621-0700.
Go Sharks! Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL. Brought to you by San Jose Collision.
The Florida Gators Week 1 matchup on the gridiron now has an official time and TV destination. The Gators will host Long Island University in the Swamp on Saturday, August 30th for a 7 o'clock kickoff, with the game airing on SEC Network Plus. Their annual matchup against Georgia will be here in Jacksonville on November 1st for a 3:30 kickoff, as that game will air on ABC.
Looking for summer fun the whole family can enjoy? Check out Wick, a candle bar. Make your own custom candles and body care products in store at Wick, a candle bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
As a law enforcement officer, safe roads are one of my top priorities, ensuring everyone can get home safely each day. Some never will, due to aggressive driving, being distracted, or speeding on the roads. And too often, that results in the toughest part of my job and the longest walk in my life. I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
9 people will be killed on our Florida roadways today. Don't let it be you or a person you love. Buckle up every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Brendan here with Checkmate Coating. No massive overhead means top prices on top quality pool decks, driveways, garages, and patios too.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
Your yard starting to look a little like a jungle? Well, it might be time for a little TLC. Or how about RTC, Russell Tree Care? At Russell Tree Care, they give your trees the perfect haircut. Whether it's trimming or removing, they'll make sure your yard looks its best, all while keeping safety as a top priority. Call Russell Tree Care today and let them take care of your trees. Russell Tree Care, 844-4Mr. Wood. That's 844-467-9663. Or visit RussellTreeCareLLC.com today. Your trees will thank you.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On June 6, 2018, LeBron James passed Michael Jordan for most 30-point playoff performances.
James fakes, sets, fires.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione. Campione Law.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold's recently hit an all-time high at over $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be a 7-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit NimnickChevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right. Where do you go? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
E to the T here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find the scratch kitchen that comes through in the clutch every day, from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar. Come on, somebody.
Got a leaky faucet? AC blowing hot air? No worries. Duck Rooter has your back. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, AC, and a whole lot of quacking good service.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, my takeaway is that I don't know how you don't stress players and expect them to respond to stress come Sunday. Me and Cleo talked about this, about the conditioning and the different scenarios that we had to go through during practice, during the off season, during training camp, mini camp, because when you get in the game, if you get stressed, then when you get in the game, there's something in you that just triggers you to remember what you did in practice, to use that as your ally for the game. So, I mean, I know it's a new era. I know I'm old school. I know I'm Gran Torino, the guy, get off my grass.
Get off my porch, yeah.
Get off my porch. But I needed that. I needed to be stressed during practice to create those difficult scenarios to see if I could fight my way out of it. So when Sundays came, I was already prepared for it. I was prepared for being down 6, 2 minutes to go, and have to score a touchdown. So hats off to them. They're getting it done, but I just don't understand how you could do it.
Some of those guys have to think like that, right? Not all of them like 1 hour of conditioning, do they?
No, but what I'm saying is that the same way you get your body acclimated by playing in the heat, in the games and stuff like that, you also want to acclimate your body to being stressed in those different scenarios so that you don't panic when it happens. You know what I'm saying? So you don't panic when you down the touchdown with 2 minutes to go in the game, and you know you got to go down and score a touchdown.
Right off some wrong.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can do
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Right.
My takeaway, there is a statute of limitation on, assaulting someone in the men's league, I'm glad there is, man, because,
Also, we only have one guy's word, so we don't have any videotape.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I used to get feels good in them leagues, man. Used to, it was fun times. As I was declining athletically,
right.
I would, use more of my body,
Of course, yeah.
to position myself. And I want to apologize. The guy just chimed in and wanted to connect with us, and I apologize for doing all that, man.
All right, my takeaway is, speaking of these one-shot wonders, and we asked you to begin the show about your greatest sports moment. You guys have been crushing on the text line, 641-1010. I'm going to read a couple as my takeaway. The 669 says, back when Hoop It Up was a big deal, downtown Jack's Main Street intersection closed, center court dunk contest. I'm third to go. First two guys missed their dunks. Here I am, barely 6, white dude, and the MC guy on the mic is like, okay, the point of this thing is to dunk the ball. Can you do that? And I said, I'll try, LOL. So I tossed my bread and butter alley-oop, tomahawk, picture Steve Francis. Boom. The huge crowd goes wild. Ronald McDonald was hugging me. It was wild and awesome. I've looked for it on YouTube, but maybe it was 2000-ish. Maybe JJ can try and look at that Hoop It Up. Hoop It Up. The 525 says, greatest moment, personal sports moment, 1999 and 2000, but crossing the finish line at an Ironman, Florida. I will always be an Ironman. Love it. Love it. And then the 534, at 15, now 41, I represented USA in soccer in the Coca-Cola World Cup in August of 1998 in Amsterdam. 15-year-old in 1998 in Amsterdam. Highlight of my sporting events. That's from Stavley. Thinking about that.
15 in Amsterdam?
Stavley's 15 in Amsterdam, bro.
15.
My mom would not have let me go.
No chance. No chance. There's no way my parents would have went. Well, although I'm not an elite athlete like this guy apparently was. I mean, he's probably on the 1500 team, USA Soccer, right?
Yeah.
But boy, Amsterdam, that's a lot. That might have made your book if you went to Amsterdam. I'll tell you that now. If you somehow got to Amsterdam, that would have got in for it down in Dam.
Yeah, it would have. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so what are you looking for next week at minicamp, Leon? What do you want to see?
You know me, I'm biased. I'm going to be watching the offensive line. I'm going to be watching the offensive line. The new the new components, the new free agent guys. Because you talked about the last OTAs. You're doing a little shuffling right now as far as offensive lines goes. The guys are getting starting position reps, and that's good. That's good. I'm only concerned with that is that there's going to come a particular point, maybe like in August, where you want to solidify your 5. So right now they're pulling guys here and there, trying to get the best 5 on the field. So I'm just going to see how they work together. I think OTAs, you tend to want to ramp it up a little bit more in minicamp. I mean, I know they're not going to have shells on anything like that, whatever, but
tempo
a little bit more. I mean, but don't get me wrong. Now, the days that I was out there, the OTAs, the tempo's been good.
Right,
it's been rapid fire. Guys running the stations, guys getting a lot more reps than they got maybe in the old regime. Better with the new regime. So, yeah, I'm going to be watching the offensive line, how they're working together, the guards, the tackles, the centers, and all that kind of stuff. That's what I'm going to be watching.
Cleo, what are you looking for?
I want to see more Travis. I want to see what they're going to continue to do with Travis Hunter and how they're going to develop him both on the offensive side and the defensive side. That's intriguing to me. And also just me being a former quarterback, I want to see how this backup quarterback position is going to turn out. I want to see the guys that they have in those roles. I want to see them compete. I want to see who's going to be able to take that, that spot. That's going to be an important spot to support Trevor and be able to be in that backup role to, be able to help the team out offensively and also help Trevor take that next step.
Yeah, Mullins has been kind of shaky a little bit, actually, in the OTAs. Kind of a little hit and miss, no doubt. To be honest, all of Trevor's backups have been, they're just guys.
Yeah.
And I love Mac. I thought Mac was a great college player. I thought he should have won the Heisman, but he's just a guy right now in the NFL.
Well, but it's interesting that Cleo said that because you got to remember, too, when Trevor's a starting quarterback, of course, we don't want anything to happen to him. But sometimes the quarterback, when he comes off the field, the backup quarterback, he comes down, he comes to the sideline, because I know Mark used to do it.
Yep.
He comes to the sideline and back, hey, man, what'd you see?
Yep.
What'd you see I didn't see? Like, especially if he turns the ball over or something,
Right.
Or he overthrows somebody. The guy he usually walks to is the backup quarterback because he sees the whole field.
And he's listening to the call on the headset.
And apparently, Trevor had a great relationship with C.J. Beathard.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, who knows why they got Mullins. Maybe Trevor was part of that idea of, maybe they went to him and said, who should we get? Who do you know?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you trust? Could have easily been something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, so listen, the backup quarterback is going to be a great communicator to Trevor Lawrence when the game time comes. He's got the head coach, he's got the offensive coordinator, but more than likely when a player comes off to the sideline, the first thing he does is go to another player and ask him, hey, man, what did you see? Especially if he turns the ball over or if he overthrows a guy. Maybe he missed a guy that was wide open on this side and he was looking, staring down the receiver. So, yeah, that's very important. The second guy, the communicator, because they'll say, hey, listen, you had this guy, you had this single coverage, there was a safety rolled over. You could have hit this guy on the skinny post or whatever route it may be.
Now, obviously, you being the quarterback, that was something you know all about.
Yeah, that was important.
Both being the guy telling the starter and the starter
being
coming
the support and being in that supporting role. It's very important. You got to have an extra set of eyes and ears out there, and then they know what's going on. So when you seeing the play being called in a huddle and guys breaking out to their different positions, you can see from the start if a guy is spinning mentally because he starts in one direction and then he starts. You already know. Let's get him corrected because something in his mind is not correct for this play.
Right. Now, speaking of something in someone's mind not being correct.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
He's Carlin with the Fringe. I said that with nothing but love in my heart, too, by the way.
No, you're right. Nothing is right. Nothing. You shouldn't believe anything that I say.
All right, so we were talking about this earlier, and I'm pretty sure this is the way. There's zero hitting in minicamp.
Correct.
They can't even put hands. Like, it can't even be individual defensive end, offensive tackle. There's no hands either, is there?
I don't think so. It's pretty limited.
So it's basically just more OTAs.
Careful. I think the intensity goes up, I think, more from a mental approach, and I think the coaches show their hand a little bit more in terms of where they're leaning with lineups.
Right.
But, yeah, I think from a contact standpoint, it'll be similar to what you've seen in OTAs. But I think because this is it. There's a summer break feel that comes with the final one. Let's assume they practice all three, and I think they probably will. Then there's a summer break feel that comes with that when they leave. So I think because of that, the coaches really want those 3 days to be crisp. So I do think you will feel more intensity from the staff on the field in terms of their mental assignments. And I think you'll see probably more true rotation in terms of the depth chart of how the coaches kind of see it. I mean, obviously, this is a new staff, and we'll see. We don't have much to go on. But I do think they'll put the whole work week in. I mean, Doug Peterson really, his first year, I don't think they did anything for mandatory minicamp because he viewed it as the team is so broken from the Urban Meyer regime. They totally lost all trust in coaches. So I'm going to give them this as like, to kind of promote harmony. Right. We're not going to have a mandatory minicamp. And then his second and third year, it was like, well, the veterans can all go, but the rookies will stay. So it was like, of the 90-man roster, it was like 25 guys working. Right. So, I think because of that, new coaches tend to do the opposite of what the old staff was doing. So my guess is they're going to work 3 days, and Liam Cohen will say, look, you guys are getting ready to have 5-6 weeks off. The veterans will have more than the rookies. But, so give me 3 good days. Give me 3 more really good days. I appreciate you guys have been here for the voluntary stuff, and I really appreciate that. But we don't need a reward. I don't need to give you a day off for a reward. Just give me 3 good days, and you're going to get 40 days off before this gauntlet of all gauntlets starts, which is an NFL season. Because I think people forget this thing starts like July 25th. And even if you don't make the tournament, you're going until January 11th. Well, I mean, it is a long time. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun, and we'll get to learn a little bit more about Liam Cohen and his staff and how they conduct it. So we'll talk about that coming up on the Frangie Show. Pete Prisco will join us at 5 o'clock to talk all things Jaguars NFL. So lots of fun stuff to get to, and we will certainly update you on the NBA Finals and our Loser Monday, round 1 in the books. So there was some early movement, so it'll be interesting to follow.
All right, before you go, 10 seconds, your greatest individual sports moment. That's what we've been asking.
My greatest individual sports moment was I was covering Tamarick Vanover, and I gave him a 20-yard cushion, and I took 2 steps back, and he was 5 yards behind me. And the quarterback overthrew him, or missed him. Right. And saved me from giving up a really embarrassing touchdown.
Is that in the playoffs? Because I think I covered that game.
No. It was a regular season game, and we were up big for me to be in the game. But yeah, I just remember that. I was like, well, this will be plenty of cushion. I literally took 2 steps into my back pedal, and he was well behind. It was just gone. So yeah, I don't have much in terms of success to share with you.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
That's how it goes.
All right, Frangie Show coming up next. Blue after that. Y'all have a great weekend.